Hi, I'd like to welcome you back to the Romocomaka Railroad. This video clip has to do with how we are ballasting our track. We have small pea gravel as our base, and this year it is necessary to level our track again, so what we're bringing in is a crusher dust with crusher fines mixed in with it. As you can see, a lot of the materials have settled into the roadbed of the track, and the ties are very, very visible. Here are some of the tools we have, not only for the track, but for improving the operation of our switches. That's an Aristo track level gauge, and what we're going to do now is demonstrate how we use this. As you'll notice, we have gotten to a point where there is already the crusher dust and fines down, and we're getting set to adjust the lateral level on the track. As you can see, the level was off, so we've pushed this stuff down. We've now got the track level by using the ballast, and there's our handy dandy Maxwell House Coffee ballast spreader. And what we're going to do now is use a fine brush, or actually it's a nail scrubbing brush, and we're spreading the material out back and forth so we make sure we get it pressed down. And on the sides, we're looking to get the angle so that when the rain does finally come, this will be pressed down and make the ties more stable. The final motion, of course, will be to brush it in between the ties to give it more stability. The track is Aristocraft 332 brass, and that is how we do the ballasting on the track. You'll notice that the level is where it belongs. And we just continue moving around on this. Now with 1,900 feet of track, it's taken us 3 days to do this. Now here's our Aristocraft switches, which have been ballasted in the past, but it makes for very shaky operation, and we're constantly cleaning the points and the guardrails. So what we've decided to do is we're going to clean out the area just before the points and just before the frog of all the ballast. And then we're going to take some fiberglass roof shingles, put them down underneath the area where we've just cleaned out the ballast. It doesn't look too obtrusive, but we put it underneath the switch itself and the switch machine. This will allow us to maintain it level. Now here's the shingles, and you'll notice the one shingle had a bevel cut in it. And that's so we can get it close to the other ties when we're using a stub yard configuration. Here we are, we're stripped down. We've got 3 switches already prepared to put the shingles underneath them. So I've cleaned out all the ballast, and we'll be installing these. Once these are installed, we will bring the ballast up to the level of the shingles. We will not ballast over the shingles. In doing this, we freed up the throw bars, and the switches, even though they are approximately 4 years old, are now working fine. We haven't had any problems with them. We will be lubricating them shortly. Now here you can see the classification yard after we have installed the fiberglass shingles under the switches. Admitted, the switch machines don't look prototypical, but as you can see, the ballast does not look obtrusive and the fiberglass shingles are not really noticeable. We've done the same on the main line to the number 6s, and also those tracks are going to the makeup and breakup tracks off of the classification yard. Here you see the ballast that we've already done on the rails. This is the crusher fines and crusher dust that we've already brushed in. The different colors are because we've had rain. Now we're not expecting rain, so what we're doing here is we're wetting the crusher fines and crusher dust with a mixture of water and a little bit of dish detergent, so the water will penetrate as well as get rid of the dust, so that once we clean the track again, we don't have to worry about the dust being picked up by the trains or the engines. Once it rains, this will settle in, and we know we'll probably have to make some more adjustments, but we're not expecting rain for quite a while. We're now taking a tour of the layout just so you can see what we've done. What you see here, the closest to you, is the middle loop of track, and this is a siding, a yard siding, along with the middle loop. Behind it is the lower loop. Each loop is approximately 175 feet long. The total trackage on this layout, as I mentioned earlier, is 1,900 feet, of which 1,500 feet are mainline trackage. There's two 750-foot loops. We run track power, but we also run battery power. Here you see us going down around the upper loop. We will be following this around just to give you a rough idea of the total size of the layout. It takes approximately 4.5 minutes. It takes approximately 8.5 minutes at a scale speed of 45 miles an hour to do one loop. We have run 4 trains on each of the 2 loops, approximately 1 minute and 45 seconds apart. It can get your attention when we do that, but it does look very impressive. We're using a power supply that provides 20 volts DC as well as 25 amps of power. Both of the main lines have separate power, and the classification yard has its own power. We can do operations and run at the same time. Giving you a rough idea of what's going on here, this is going down to the lower loop, and we will be passing an area where we have put in a number 6Y switch. In the upper right, it's coming up very shortly. This Y switch will be used when we go into our new storage shed. We expect to be able to store approximately 200 cars as well as about 15 engines in the storage shed. It will facilitate the operation of the layout. We're coming up to that Y switch right now. As you can see, this area has been ballasted, it has been wetted down, and here's the Y switch which will be going to the storage shed. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have any comments, please address them to me at noela@frontiernet.net. We hope to be having an open house, and if you like to run battery power, track power, or you have live steam as the layout is basically very, very flat, let us know. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.